Hello, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me in my shop here this morning. It's August 21st, another cold day, 10 degrees outside to start the day, which is crazy. And the high today is only 21, which is pretty cool, which is very odd for August, but that's what it is here. Yesterday it was rainy, kind of on off all day. Today I think it's going to be sunny, so yahoo. Now, aside from the weather report, something that's very important to every Canadian, that's for sure. What about this radio here? So yesterday I got to the point where I was applying power to the receiver, and I got some of the tubes anyway to light up. I think they're probably all lighting up and ready to go with the heater power, but the B plus power did not make it into the set, or so it appears. When I applied the B plus power, there was no current draw at all. There is a switch over here. It's actually labeled B plus, off and on, and this switch, if you listen to it, doesn't sound right. So my guess is the switch is broken. Now I had every intention yesterday evening of coming in here and going a little further with the switch. But I fell asleep on the couch and never did that. So here I am with the same switch in it. We're going to have to go at this switch and try to determine if this is the problem, and then I'm going to have to replace it if I can, or disable it. I'm in the mood to disable things these days. That's how I got my way out of my last project, disabling something. So what also is necessary to be done right now is to deal with my coffee maker. So I think what I'm going to do is stop, have a little coffee, get the set flipped upside down, the bottom off, and we get at this switch here and start checking into that. Okay, so I've turned them right upside down. That puts the switch in question over here, which is good. There we are. This will be my second time peering into the back of this radio. Once again, what a professional layout this is. Everything is at right angles, more or less. Nothing's on top of anything. It hasn't got parts on top of parts on top of parts. My experience with these components, these are all look like 0.1s here. Not very reliable. Much better than a wax capacitor, but still not very reliable. Okay, not to mind that right now. We're after this switch. Oh my gosh, look where it's located. You can't look. Look up here. Oh my gosh, it's underneath all this stuff. Shoot. Looks like it's a simple toggle switch with two terminals on either end of the switch. So it should be pretty easy to put an ohm meter down there and find out what's going on. Let's do that. Stop panicking about things until you need to. Okay, I think the switch is off right now. Check it out here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think I can get down to the switch here. Oh. Just too tangled up. Well, I certainly don't want to take this piece of apparatus out to get at the switch. that is not going to happen. What is going to happen? So the wires from the switch go somewhere. I can trace those wires and find the other end somewhere in the circuit here with any luck. I can then do the ohm meter test there. That sounds like a good idea. Let me put just a little more light into here. I do have my new glasses. I've been walking around and noticing everything's in focus all the time. This is the first time in years I've been seeing with good focus, because I've been so lazy to go get glasses. So I think I need that. Okay, this is definitely one of them here. Be right here. It's a good thing they used the same black wire for everything. That's really going to help. Okay, it's going right in here. It's underneath. Looks like it comes to this terminal here. It's either this one or this one. I think it's probably this one. This side of the switch I can get to fairly easily. Okay. That one. So I was right. So it's this one. Now, the other wire, it looks like they've cleverly picked another black wire, same as all the rest. Let's try a close-up camera here. I'm not sure it's going to help, but and I'm going to freeze the focus on it before we get going, because as I have said 6,000 times, the automatic focus on this camera is terribly annoying. Put it up about like that. I think should do the trick. Okay. Change the focus here. Okay, just bear with me a moment. Looks like I have to change it some more. Mouse, which is very disagreeable. There. Okay, now that's the one I've traced and tested. The other one is right there. You can see the black wire goes down under the bundle, appears to be to the right under the gold wire. So 3 black wires. It looks like it's the lowest one. 3 black wires, the lowest one. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta do the wiggly thing here. It would be this one. I think this is the guy here. Upper wire here. Looks like it's going to a terminal right there. This guy right here. Okay, let's double check that. Keep my hand on it. And I appear to have a frozen image of my hand. No, it's not frozen. Just holding my hand still. Okay, is that really the right spot? So we need to test that back to the part where I can't touch it. That makes good sense. How am I going to do that? Like, how am I going to know I got this right? Well, let's guess. Let's guess the switch is good and I've done it right. That means when I operate the switch, I should see it on the ohmmeter. Okay. So that sort of confirms the switch is open, but doesn't fully prove it for my purposes. If the switch were easier access, you know, I start changing it. But with it the way it is, I'd be more inclined to jumper it out, especially just now while I'm working on the radio. Removing this piece. Wow. Yeah, it's not a welcoming idea. No, I don't like that idea. This lever, if you can see the lever swinging here, the little pin, the pin is engaging with a toggle switch right here. I must be able to get a test. I must be able to get a test probe in there somehow. Let me try it this way. Oh yeah, okay, I can get there. Okay, I am on the switch. So the yellow is connected here and I'm on the switch. I can see no effect. Pretty conclusive now that the switch is open. Now that I can get it like that, I can do this too. I can do it right like this. Okay, I'm right on the terminals now of the switch. So bringing a switch like this back to life can be done. Sometimes just cleaner in the switch will do it. In this case, Probably a smart move at this point would simply be to short that switch out and not have it in the circuit. Did I get the right? Did I get the wires right out here? I didn't really prove that out. Let's try this again. So this green one should go straight to that terminal. You should see a 0. Okay, so I think I got it right. So the wires from the switch come to where I've got the clip leads. So what I can do is simply apply a permanent short circuit between these two spots. Is there anything at all in the power supply that can help with this? So the switch isn't even appearing here or up here. Hard to see here. The switch is sitting right there. B plus switch. Relay terminals. So that's what's on the back of the right now. I see what's going on here. So this is the two terminals that are shorted on the back of the radio. These ones right here. That's pretty interesting too, because that's a way into the radio. Like at this point, you could apply B plus right here. Well, it's almost exactly the same thing except the switch. I can bypass the switch by sending the B plus right into here. That's pretty good because I have an external terminal here that I can make contact with from outside the radio. Well, so you hook the power up here, and the other power terminal is just going to the chassis, I'm pretty sure. How can we see that? We see a ground indication here, and ground that's right on this. When you come across, come down, it says B minus right there. So it looks like B minus, assuming this is the chassis connection here. It's a bit of an assumption that this means chassis. Okay, so looking in here at who is tied to the ground. This capacitor is right on a riveted terminal right to the chassis. This is a chassis connection here with the shields. Capacitor is going to the chassis. This is all strong indications. These are going to the chassis. Yeah. So it looks it looks like it's got to be how did I feed the power in before? Oh, at the end of this cord. The end of this cord. Good grief. So just based on the schematic here, sure looks like you can just hook B plus up to here and void the switch and B minus just onto the chassis. Now we have a chance to look at this mystery wire here. What is this all about? So I can see the purple wire coming here. There's a purple wire here too. Purple wires here. Purple's not normal in this radio. So how do you get purple wire, red wire? This must be some kind of add-in here. Perhaps done by the Canadian Signal Corps. Maybe this is part of their change. I don't know. Lots of things I don't know yet. Okay, get back on track. No, don't quite get on track. What is this going to be? So the purple wire is coming to this tube. This is probably the output tube here. I can't tell for sure. I don't remember yet who's who. I'm guessing this is a speaker connection. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, take these off. I think I'm correct in what I'm saying about applying B plus here. Doing that would mean I remove the B plus from the plug here. Still use the plug for the heater current. Throw that down there. This is the high voltage. Oh, this is the heater current. Jim, you just took the wrong ones off. Right, big plugs. So was one of these particularly grounded? Better make sure that's get it right. Yes, holding the plug like this. The one to the right is the grounded one. Just in case this makes a difference, I think my supply is probably an ungrounded supply. These are the ones I want to take off. Okay, so that's the power of the heaters. This will be powering. So I'm just going to clip it loosely like that. Keep an eye on that. It's not far to the chassis. If I do that, right, go on the inside. Is there a hole I can push this through and get it into here? Probably not. So I would have to lay this and put the radio on top of this wire and probably cut it. It's not so good. This is kind of handy. This is a crazy thing to do. Oh, I tore the grommet. Yeah, I ruined the grommet. I have new grommets. Okay, that was kind of a crazy thing. Got it through there though. I can attach this here. So I push this wire back out here. Bend it a little bit. Okay, this knocked off. Put this back on. See, if I do this the right way, I could take this jumper off, and that would be the switch. Okay, and then the ground we just put on the outside here to something. What do we got out here to ground to? Just go like that. Just look closely. What's here? What is this? This looks like paper. Is there some? It does not look to be isolated. Was that my meter I just heard say goodbye? I think it was. Well, let's go again. For sure, checking to make sure this is actually grounded. It is not. Huh, really? Wow. You'd swear this thing is grounded. Pick a ground spot. Not grounded. Surprise. Got another hole to push another lead through. Just use a piece of wire. Put a piece of wire in here. What would I do with a piece of wire inside here? I could make a more permanent thing, or I could solder something through here and have a power cord come out and go up to my thing. It'd be much more secure. Wouldn't have to worry about this clip lead anymore. Clip lead doesn't do the job very well anyway. I think I'm going to make some better connection from in here that I can use on my power supply. Yeah. Oh, this white page is driving the cameras nuts. Okay, coffee break time, and I'll do that. Okay, let's take a look at what I've done. So I've got a cord. The red one is on the ribbed side. The ribbed side is coming here to where the positive connects. Solder is good. Strain relief this. This comes over to a ground terminal. I looked at a lot of different ground terminals and decided this would be the one to connect to. Good. I think we're good. And what more do we need to do here? I don't think anything. I think that's it. So I'm going to bypass the switches. There's some way I can find out if I've done this without something stupid being done. You look again at the schematic. That's probably the best thing I can do. So just reminding myself again, I have attached to these terminals, which are right here. That's just on the B plus line, just coming in here. No problem at all. Switch is bypassed. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Okay, before we turn this on, coffee. Okay, so I have the connections made. I got the radio up right. No audio output because I'm going to power up just the B plus circuit without the tubes heated up. I kind of maybe yesterday when I attempted both hot tubes and B plus at the same time, I probably missed a step in slowly getting things going, and that step is just applying B plus to cold tubes. That'll let me know if there's a serious leak in the B plus circuitry, shorted capacitor, something of that sort. It will stop me from trying to operate the radio completely. Okay, so having said that, I'm going to disconnect the, I'm going back up here. I'm going to disconnect the heater connections here. Put this on standby to warm up. So the whole issue is what happens on this meter here. That's going to show the current draw from the radio, B plus circuits, with the tubes not hot. So what I would expect is, having not really studied the circuit, very, very low current draw, if anything. So the meter would come up maybe just a little bit here and sit. Or the meter may not come up at all, which is okay. Or the meter may come up and go down each time I advance the voltage because of capacitors being charged in the circuit. There are a couple of big capacitors I noticed when I had the radio upside down. So I think we're ready to go here. This is showing the voltage here. We wouldn't want to go any more than 200, which is straight up. And that meter is very inaccurate, and I don't think this is very accurate either. But it was certainly good enough to do it. Okay, any reason to wait? Meter's in the right spot. Down, here we go. Okay, my imagination told me the lights flicked in my office when I did that, or my shop here when I did that, but I doubt that's the case. So, watching this meter very carefully, there's a red line here. We cannot go above the red line. We're going up. Okay, the voltage is rising. The current is not. Current is going up just a wee bit. Go up a little higher. We'll take it to 200. Okay, so on here we've got, that's 25 milliamps where I'm pointing. So this would be 5. So we got just under 5. According to this meter, we got 4 or 5 milliamps flowing in the radio with no heaters on. Well, that doesn't seem like a bad thing offhand. I guess if I'm not about to do it, but if I study this long enough, I might be able to find out just where that current's flowing. It's not flowing through any tubes because they're not hot. when they heat the tubes up, we could reasonably, it's supposed to be 75 milliamps right up here. And that's what's next. So down on the voltage, over to standby. If I remember right, even on standby, there's voltage on the heater circuit there. Let me check that, just in case I'm mistaken about that. So we're on standby, and there's the 6 volts, 6.7 volts sitting right there. Right there. Standby is not standby. Standby is stand back. So as soon as I can make the connection here, the heater's on. The heat is on. Uh-oh. Flying cables here, everything's okay. Okay, very good. Coffee break time again. I gotta find time, to drink the coffee. I don't know exactly the history of this particular radio, but just in very simple terms, built in the United States, purchased by the Canadian Signal Corps, probably altered here, this way, not probably, it was altered here, and sent over to Europe. Probably spent its working life in Europe as a Y station receiver. Who knows? Come back from Europe, back to Canada, eventually go up for surplus, purchased by a surplus purchaser or dealer, probably sold to a ham radio operator, I'm just guessing now, and somehow it's wandered its way into my shop from there. And I'm sure it's another circuitous route to get here, but here it is. Now I'm about to start it up. I've got the audio connected. It's connected into the sound system, so you'll hear it. So will I if I put these headphones on here. Goodness knows what we're going to hear. There's a chance, I still think it's a 25% chance this radio is going to work. We're tuned at the high end of the band, up around 14. It's probably pretty high. We probably really want to go down, but we'll leave it where it is. Go down through 9 megahertz. 9 megahertz is really around 250. Oh, let's go down there. Wrong way. Let's go down to somewhere around 250. So here we are. Somewhere in here. Who knows? I'm being very optimistic here. Position of this switch won't matter. Audio gain is set on 1. It's very low. Oscillator off. That's a CW oscillator off. Phasing control off. So crystal is not in the circuit. Crystal filter not in the circuit. Okay, step 1 will be heat the tubes up. Step 2 will be slowly increase the B+. Step 3 will be applaud. When we hear this radio work, maybe for the first time in who knows how long. How long has it been? Who knows? I don't. Okay, so as soon as I plug these wires in, the heater's going to come on. Watch the excitement here. Okay. What do we hear? Ooh, big sparks going. Anybody see that? Did you notice my yellow light here really dropped off? Like the yellow light. The green indicator light really dropped down a lot. So I have another meter connected here to read the B+, so we're a little more certain of the B+. 300 volt scale, so 150 straight up. So we want to go a little past 150 probably. Okay, see the lights are on. Lights are on. So you can watch this meter. We don't have to. I'll keep an eye on that current flow meter up here. Or do you want it? Yeah, you keep an eye on it too. Let's keep an eye on everything. Everybody keep an eye on everything all at once. Ready now to apply B+. Oh, I don't have the volume turned up over here. Ah, okay, there we are. Now you're hearing the hum from the radio. Is it really from here? I sort of heard that. I'm here. Okay. We're ready. Just waiting for some other idea to pop in my head, but it's not popping. Sometimes I go for a coffee to let the ideas come, but I think I'm going to just go ahead now. Down, on. Am I stepping in front of the big voltmeter here? Oh, he's all tangled up. Can I put him over there? I don't think I'm stepping in front. Here we go. So, what are we hearing? I think we're hearing bad parts failing. I think that's what we're hearing. I've got all of, 20 volts on it. The hum is probably coming from the power supply. Current draw is nothing. It's nothing yet. So what are we hearing? Lots of crazy stuff. Not from this. Doesn't sound good. Meter switch. Doesn't do anything. Phasing. No, I don't think we're hearing that part of the radio. I think we're just hearing the audio circuits, I think. What else have we got here? Turn. RF gain. That's at 10. Well, considering there's nothing going on with... Oh, there is something going on there. Is there? I'm looking for the meter to be jumping at all or anything. There's just nothing going on there. So we hear lots of noise, but that's all it really is. Let me turn the volume down just a bit. If I turn the volume down, then we won't be so disturbed by it. The horrific things that are going on. Okay, we're going up in voltage now. Current is showing up. I don't know. I don't get a good feeling about this. Yeah, not a good feeling. Okay, I think that's about as far as we can go with this. Okay, Jim. Let me just break the. Whoa! What was that? That was a exciting moment there. I don't know what that was. Whew. Okay. What am I hearing? Am I hearing things? I took my headphones off. I think I'm hearing things. Okay, never mind what I'm hearing. Let's cut this power down. I'll put it back on, Jim, because you gotta. Yeah, so there's no sound without B+. Let's continue experimenting here, and let's not just give up so quickly. I'll just put it very low. So I imagine that's a capacitor breaking down. That's what I imagine we're hearing there. Well, I'm going to wiggle some of these tubes. So these are silent. This one's a big noisemaker. It's not supposed to make that sound. Sorry about that. That was a little loud, wasn't it? I turned the volume down over there. And we're going to give this guy a big wiggle. I really have to get right on the tube itself to really wiggle it. Wiggle the tube itself. Volume back up. Audio works. Oscillator off. Oh! Hey, what's this switch? That AVC off. Okay, AVC off. Turn off the oscillator. We got rid of a bunch of stuff. It didn't scare me that time. Let's go higher. We're at about 75 volts here. Where are we at? 100 volt scale. We're about 60 volts. Let's go a little higher. Current is 20 milliamps. We get to 100 volts. I think I read somewhere this thing will work with as little as 125 volts. We're almost there. Why are we not hearing anything at all? That's pretty interesting. Hear the effect of this? That's good. Not hearing any radio stuff at all, though. Okay, because we're still only at 3 volt. We're not even 100 volts here. Over 100 on this one. Let's go up higher. Oh, don't do that. Okay, now we're close to 200. We're 175 volts of B+. That should be enough to make the set operate. We'll turn up the audio here. The hum is coming in pretty strong. This thing can't hum on its own, as far as I know. There's no hummability in here. It's got to be coming from the power supply, which I've never worked over. Let's later on. RF gain. Okay, tuning. Now it's what is it? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Not a good time. There's nothing happening here. That's the same spot again, I think. We're down towards the bottom of the band, so we're getting down around 7. Let's go up, 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 and up, and up. Okay, we're up near the top now. So I haven't heard a thing, radio-wise, not a thing. Okay, so some good things. First of all, we're hearing something. Something's happening when I fiddle with this dial. What if I do this on and off here? This is the antenna. So we're not really hearing anything from the antenna. That's the impression I've got. So, pretty interesting. I would say that the next logical step is to test the vacuum tubes. One of the simple tests is for me to observe them, see if there's heat. See if they're heating up. A little hard with the shells on them, but I'm going to try. Let's see what we can find out here. So, yes, yes. A lot of no's here. Wow, this is nothing certain I can do. Ooh, that was scary. Oh yes, it's going. Okay, put that back on there right now. Wow, so these caps are important. Wow. I kind of poo-poo some of this stuff sometimes. All this. Yeah, come on. Get on. There we are. Did I manage to short it? No. But now, of course, no hand effect. Testing all the tubes. So once again, I was trying to determine. Let me turn this light off. Okay. Darkness is going to ensue. Okay. I'd say there's 3 of them and 4 of them in here that I don't see any light in them at all. So I wonder if they're getting warm. I'll let them run long enough that the heat builds up. Let's see. I can see it in this one. Yeah, that's warm. Oh, I got a better way of doing that instead of sticking my hand in there. I got a better way. So this is a thermal viewer I have here. So I will just look for heat. Look for heat. Okay, I will do this myself. Hot, hot. Hot, not hot, but some heat, some heat, some heat, some heat, some heat. There's heat in every one of these tubes. Yeah, every one of them is heating up. Okay, that's good to know. That reduces the need to do tube testing on them. We're probably going into a full-blown troubleshooting here to go forward with this at this point. At least now I know I can operate the set. There's lots of information in the service manual on voltages and also 2-pin resistances, which can be measured with the set off. And you can hunt through them looking for something that's way out of whack. And perhaps that'll lead you to, shorted capacitor, open resistor, or something of that sort, which is almost certainly in here somewhere. What else can we do with it while it's operating? What else can we do? What could be going on here that I haven't figured out? That could be stopping it from operating. The coil set. I think you're supposed to turn off the B+ when you yank the coil set in and out. And mostly that's, I think, to stop loud pops from coming out of the speaker or the headphones while you do it, and it makes sense to cut off the B+. Now, I can wiggle this a little bit. Where are we? That's volume-wise. If I just wiggle it a bit. Oh yeah. So could simply be bad connection. Oh wow, that's loud, isn't it? So that doesn't prove anything. Two thumbs up. Sounds like it's dying, but it's not. It's jumping for joy. So what we're hearing here, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. So this is 14070. Let's go up to the very top. Cam right here. We'll try to CW.
Retired disabled veteran there myself, so only part-time gig I got other than that is I do the big boy RC racing cars, on Saturdays and Wednesdays sometimes during the week or other.
Have the BFO on right now?
I was surprised to see that. Me sorprendió ver que la ciudad en sí parecía muy tranquila y que literalmente no estaba pasando nada. Eso significaba.
So I have to apologize right now for volume problems in doing this video, because what I hear in the headphones is much quieter than what's happening, and often I have the volume cranked way too high and I don't realize it. So I apologize now for bad volume control. While I'm doing this, I'll be a little better now.
Impactan en Latinoamérica. Estados Unidos, alegría. De lunes a viernes, la información con Tony Cano. Desde La Voz de América en Washington, por su emisora local favorita en América Latina.
La Voz de América te invita a ser parte de nuestra familia a través de las redes sociales. Encuentra en tu muro las últimas noticias de tu país en su conexión con Estados Unidos, la región y el mundo. Historias que empoderan las voces.
What can we do that's helpful? And then maybe mention things that aren't so.
Música popular estadounidense e internacional y las noticias del espectáculo.
I'm going the wrong way, I think. I want to go down to around 9.3. That's where I'm aiming. 9.3. Put you around 200 on the dial. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. 200, 200, 300, 280, 250. Okay, somewhere down in here we should pick up a strong signal. Huge amount of play in the and this is exactly what this is not supposed to have. It's not supposed to have this kind of play. That's what this radio should be famous for, but unfortunately 190
is in the blood. He gave his blood, he gave his life on our behalf.
This is probably the station I was hunting for.
Famous passage at a moment, which is not as difficult as people have made it out to be, but 1 Peter 3, he recounts the historical events of Jesus. He says Jesus died, he suffered. 1 Peter 3.
Again, sorry if I got the volume up too high. Let's try the selectivity controls.
Because Messiah
Flip on the crystal.
Once for sin. We know that. He died in our place. God laid on him the iniquity of us all. The just,
So,
that's Jesus,
like the
dying for the
narrowing
unjust,
the,
that's the rest of us, to bring us
bandwidth,
to
receptive
God.
bandwidth,
He
we
was
should
put to
lose the
death in
treble.
flesh, that is, but
Lost the volume.
he died as a human being. When you're dead in the Bible, you're dead. He fell into the sleep of death, but then guess what?
Selectivity
It's
control.
very appropriate for our
That's
daily
right.
life
Maybe the
and spirit
phasing doesn't
on
have that
Messiah.
effect.
Now, in it, that's not the best translation, in that condition, He was made alive in the Spirit. In that risen condition, in the Spirit, he, Jesus, traveled off and preached to the spirits. Spirits, when used by itself,
Still having trouble controlling the
just
volume.
men made perfect. We have spirit. We do, human beings. We are not spirits. When you define a class of personalities as talking about angels and spirits. Oh, demons. Fallen angels, evil angels. He went off and announced his victory to those
I think there's something going on here
during the time
with
of
the
the flood.
selectivity
You
control.
see, this event in Genesis 6, where there was a terrible mismatch between sons of God, angels, and some human females, this was a classic, ghastly error. It's done a little bit to the transgender thing we hear about now. Once you start mixing and muddling the sexes, you're undoing the laws of the universe. So
Oh, you are, eh? Undoing the laws of the universe. Sorry, but we can't do anything that's against the laws of the universe.
So even the four.
You are more powerful than the universe. You can break its laws. Well, okay. That's great. Now we're getting down around 7 megahertz, which pretty quiet. So that station we were just listening to is a very, very powerful station. It wasn't coming in here all that strong. It seems like at the lower end of the band things are weaker than at the higher end. Go up to the higher end again. How come we're not hearing anything?
Donaldo Hernández, Voz de América.
Están escuchando Buenos Días América.
Buenos días.
Desde la Voz de América, la actualidad de la crisis en Ucrania.
La guerra había comenzado.
Todo esto nos afecta mucho, pero confío en la justicia de la
I think that's wider.
La ofensiva militar rusa avanza sobre Ucrania.
Crystal phasing.
Y análisis a diario.
Todos los habitantes quieren
There's a switch in here.
antes.
Salvador no está para los efectos.
El ejército ucraniano dice que la cantidad de ataques de artillería en la
Haciéndose
So-
horrible la invasión en Ucrania.
Guatemala condenó enérgicamente la tensión que crece entre Ucrania y Rusia.
Sintonícenos y síganos en las redes sociales como Voz de América.
Meter. Come on, meter.
Conversando con la Voz de América, un espacio de entrevistas sobre los temas más destacados y que generan polémica con nuestros periodistas y corresponsales. Todos los días un tema abordado en profundidad en un podcast a través de nuestra web vozdeamerica.com y a través de la red de
Nothing on the
afiliadas
movement
de
of the
América
meter.
Latina y el Caribe. Conversando con la Voz de América, con expertos y la perspectiva de la noticia.
Momento deportivo en La Voz de América. Les informa Henry Llanos. El esperado debut de Deshaun Watson en la pretemporada del fútbol americano fue puesto en pausa. El entrenador de los Browns, Kevin Stefanski, informó que no se ha decidido si Watson, quien no ha sumado minutos desde que sobre...
Okay, so I was checking the meter here to see if it worked. It doesn't seem to work, but I don't have the AVC switched on. I have to have the AVC switched on for the meter to work. Most of these radios work that way. Let's try it.
La semana pasada Stefanski dijo que el plan era que Watson enfrentara a los Seahawks, pero ahora no lo tiene seguro. Todos nuestros titulares deben esperar a jugar y luego determinaremos quién estará o no y cuántas jugadas, indicó Stefanski antes de la práctica, especialmente con Deshaun.
That's an RF control being
Esta semana y
moved.
realmente final más tarde en la semana, dijo el entrenador. El ministro del Interior de Francia, Gérald Darmanin, indicó el martes que desplegarán 25.000 oficiales de policía todos los días en París y otras ciudades.
Okay, I'm going to turn the volume right down, but the radio's still operating just as it was. And I'm going to use the voltmeter here and see what kind of voltage is on the meter leads. So I'm set to 600 millivolts. And I need a little more light here to See, what are they doing back there? Oh my gosh. This is some strange looking arrangement. Let me get the other camera here. I was just expecting two terminals on the back of this thing. Instead I got, oh, that's the light. That's the light. That's the light. Say it again. I like to say things 3 times apparently. The leads are probably down here somewhere. Where are the leads? Oh, there they are. Well, no, those are the wires going to the, this camera's not doing well for me. So the wires appear to be kind of out of reach, kind of going into the side of the meter. Down below they're out of reach, unfortunately. So what I was going to do was just check and see if there's some voltage on the meter movement, which I'll bet you there is, and I bet you the problem is the movement itself is shot. Don't know that for sure. And would you believe I have some number of meters similar to this, not exactly like this, but I might have a replacement that could go in there. But that's jumping way ahead. Well, okay, before I do something stupid, let's turn the sound up again. Unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable. You drifted it? It may have drifted a little bit.
Norton y Christian Slater, 55. El actor y comediante Andy Samberg de la serie Brooklyn Nine-Nine y Saturday Night Live, 46. La actriz Diana Muldaur de Star Trek, The Next Generation, 86. El actor Jim Carter de Downton Abbey, 76.
Okay, so that's almost certainly Radio Marti, which I often pick up here at my location every day, all day, in the 11 megahertz. There's a couple different transmitters going there, and probably a couple other bands. I don't know, all over the place anyway. You always pick it up, always in Spanish, always targeting Cuba with the American truth sent to Cuba. But I think it's also entertaining to Cuban expatriates who are living in Florida now. I think if they have a shortwave radio, I guess. Can you get this not on shortwave? Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe if you're in Florida, maybe there's even an FM transmitter with this stuff on it. I don't know. Okay, I'm a little excited, so it's probably a good idea for me to stop. Okay, so to stop this guy, let's do it. Sound. So that whole time was done with 175 B+ volts. Down we go. Oh. Radio Marti. Right there. Just hang on long enough for it to actually say it. So B+ is gone. And so is the heater stuff. Wow. I have to tell you, man, when these radios showed up, this one and its brother, I have its brother too, showed up, I took one look at them and thought, oh my gosh, what are you going to do with those things? I knew nothing about them. Now I realize that this radio is a huge piece of radio history, a huge piece of military history, so basically the history of the world we're in. This guy played a role. This actual model probably traveled to Europe, probably came back. It has these extra features for reasons I don't know yet. I'm trying to find out why the Canadian military needed more outputs here. I don't know. But fantastic. I'm really just about beside myself having heard this radio operate. So fantastic. Now, what do you do with something like this? Because it seems to operate pretty good. It's full of original parts. Should I get in there and start swapping them out with a bunch of yellow capacitors? I don't think so. I think the next step, check voltages, resistances, check. see if there's anything wildly out of sorts in it, and and try to do the least on this thing. Can you believe it? This is from 1939, 1940, somewhere in that area, and I'm pretty sure nothing's been done to it, and here it is. Wow. Wow. Well, thanks a lot for watching. We'll start doing those tests tomorrow, and see what we can find out about this radio. So fantastic. I'm beside myself if this worked, really. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.